All right, we are back here for season 6 of Survivor. Yeah, since last time, this is Survivor Bahamas. We got two tribes here, the Mudo tribe and the Yena tribe. Mudo's got people like Amy, Bruce, Clarence, Desiree, Hunter, Marilyn, Mike, Teresa or T-Bird, and Todd. And Yena, they got Allison, Dan, Danny, Jenna, Jesse, Nick, Pat, Robert, and Vince. Originally, I had a different idea for the season, but I have been having a little bit of trouble trying to get custom photos in. So this was actually going to be season 7, a little behind the scenes for you guys. But yeah, actually, real quick, we're gonna click reasoning just so we can see why people vote what. And yeah, we're also gonna, before we start, just real quick, explain one thing. For the first time ever, because we haven't had a returning season, this will be the first time that Redemption Island is a thing. So if someone gets voted out, they do have a chance to possibly come back and win it. So yeah, let's get started. See what happens as we proceed to alliances. Looks like off the bat, we have an alliance of Bruce, Clarence, and T-Bird. Some of the younger seasons, and then as I say that though, I mean Marilyn, Hunter, Amy, Mike, and Todd are in an alliance over here. As we go to the Yena tribe, it's a deadlock between Allison, Jenna, Pat, and Vince versus Dan, Danny, Jesse, and Robert. So let's go into the first immunity challenge. Push it uphill. Each tribe pushes 4 blocks along a track to build the base of a temple. They'll run up in steps. One person will get axe chop the rope, releasing more blocks, and the first person to complete their temple wins. Wins immunity here, where they also win Flint. Probably a strong showing from the men here, pushing with I don't know, I don't remember many of the women, at least these four that were pushing. And I'll probably show the idol right here, but Hunter found the idol on Mudo as Vince finds the idol on Yina as well. Nick and Vince bond a lot. Looks like Vince is playing very early game as Hunter has the idol, but he does not play it. As we get into the first vote of the season here, as first vote goes Desiree, second vote Todd, third vote Todd, fourth vote Todd, fifth vote Desiree, sixth vote Todd, seventh vote Desiree, eighth vote Desiree, and in a 5-4, Desiree does go home. Kind of was not expecting Todd to get that many votes, as he is in an alliance with, I believe it was one, two, three, four, five, yeah, a 5-person alliance. But I guess the other four just targeted him. Yeah, they all voted with them, and Desiree wasn't really with anyone. She was just trying to stay safe. But Desiree is the first one gone here. As we look at the tribes, same deal going on. No one from an alliance on this side got voted out. And on this side, nothing changed because they want immunity. As we go into the second one, it's called Smash, Grab, Smash. One person from each tribe will swim out on a platform, climb the top, smash a tile, and retrieve a key. The next person goes. Once all 5 keys are collected, they will use it to open a box, retrieve a ball, and then they'll use the ball to break 5 tiles. Mudo wins this. I'm guessing it's probably between Hunter and Mike Chisel who are throwing the ball. I could see the people going out, probably like Amy, Todd, T-Bird, Clarence, and Bruce. Marilyn, I don't know what you were doing. I'm gonna be real. Um, Maryland does give me the idea of like Susie from last season, though, like the older player, as this complete first alliance dissolves on this side, so this could definitely help the one side here. Vince does not play his idol for the Yena in Yena's tribe. First vote will go Allison, second vote Dan, third vote Allison, fourth vote Dan, fifth vote Allison, sixth vote Dan, seventh vote Dan, eighth vote Allison, and in a 5-4, Allison is the second person eliminated here. We'll see how everyone voted. Allison voted for Dan because she likes Dan less than Jenna, so it looks like Jenna was the next one on the block. Lions going. Uh, she likes Allison less than Dan, so Jenna kind of just went off her mind. Nick voted Dan, less Alice and Jenna. It's very interesting for that. This looks like Jenna was the next person, but as we see here, nothing's going on. It's just even. As we check the alliances, they're both even on this side, and on this side, it's just them left. As Danny and Dan working together, the Dans working great. As Redemption Island will go. As jailbreak, locked into a makeshift jail, player must use sticks and rope to create a long pole to retrieve the three keys. These keys are used to unlock the door. First person to unlock them stays in. Allison wins the duel. She'll remain as the first person ever to win on Redemption Island, as Desiree is the first officially voted person out, leaving the game here. As we go on immunity, then it's called Spin Cycle. Three men are each tribal strapped to a large wheel. The other three will spin the wheel, and they have to pretty much spit into tubes with their mouth full of water, and then they have to solve a table maze where the puzzle makers will leave a ball into a pocket. And Yina wins this. Um, yeah, and they also win a bunch of comfort items, as Hunter still has the idol over here. There's nothing to really do. Vince has this over here. And now this alliance is getting very weak. So it could go crazy on Yena if they don't get everything together. As Hunter has the idol over here. Hunter does not play the idol. His first vote goes to Bruce. Second vote, Mike. Third vote, Bruce. Fourth, Bruce. Fifth, Bruce. Sixth, Mike. Seventh, Mike. And in a 5-3 vote, Bruce is out of the game here, as everyone looks like they're just voting with their alliances now. As we'll go in the next episode, we see it's 7-3. It's really just Clarence and T-Bird playing the underdog game on this side against these five. We made a strong alliance off the bat, and on this side it's just all falling apart. But we'll go to alliances just to see what I said there. As T-Bird still trusts Clarence a lot. There's that little crack right here you can see with Hunter and Amy, possibly in Maryland, but nothing's going on. As we'll go to Redemption here. As they call Domino Effect, each caster will stack a series of blocks on a multi-level platform while avoiding tripwires, which could cause their blocks to tip and force them to start over. Goals their range of blocks so they will fall like dominoes, ultimately release a ball and smash a tile. And Allison definitely has speed over the older Bruce, wins the redemption here, as now Bruce, even though he was voted third, is eliminated second. As we go into immunity here, tooling around. On day one, both sides were given a craftsman toolkit. They challenge test them to use those tools, as they'll make their way a balance beam, use a crowbar to create and retrieve a shovel. The shovel then find an axe. Axe goes into release a rope holding two saws, and then they'll keep using this stuff pretty much till they get to the end, where final step is to put the toolbox containing all the tools used in challenge on top of the platform. And they do this, where they also get a barbecue feast to feed all the hard work they've been doing on this side. As looks like everyone's starting to not trust each other as much on the Mudo Tribe Alliance, but and Danny and Vince had a minor fight, as Vince, who was trying to do a lot of talking early, and Danny, we know that she's a quieter player. As we go into the vote, as first vote goes for T-Bird, second vote's T-Bird, third vote T-Bird. Going back to Todd for the votes. We're on this side, as fourth and fifth are for Todd, but 5-2, T-Bird is out here, as it is just Clarence left on this side, trying to play that underdog game with these five. As we go into alliances here, see they're good, they're very weak, and this one is called Cube Crisis. The two castaways would race to retrieve puzzle pieces and then assemble them into a cube. First castaway assemble the cube wins. Teresa wins the duel. She's gonna stay. So T-Bird's here. Allison, after two tries, she does get the two redemption wins, but she is out now. So we will see immunity now, as it's called Smoko. So one castaway for each tribe will be a caller, and navigate their blindfolded tribe members through a maze and collect 4 bags of puzzle pieces. Once all 4 bags are collected, the caller will call to solve a word puzzle. The first caller to solve the word puzzle will win for their tribe. Oh, so this is season 22. If you can see the names up here, that highlight real quick. just the show, but Muto does win immunity. They also win coffee, tea, cream, sugar, honey, pastries, and donuts. I'm saying, uh, I'll say Todd or Amy was the caller, and then had the men going out these three, and actually Marilyn may have been the caller. We'll say, I don't know. You could choose. As Clarence, by himself, he has a major fight with Hunter during the reward here. It's all good. Vince has the idol. As going into this, it looks like Vince does play his idol. He had a suspicion that he could be voted. His first vote goes to Vince, does not count. Second, Vince, does not count. Third vote, Vince, does not count. Fourth vote, Vince, does not count. Fifth vote, Vince, does not count. And sixth vote goes to Dan. And seventh, on 3 votes only, Dan is gone here. As we could see who voted, because 5 votes, there was an alliance of 4, so someone definitely was working with them here. As Dan, Danny, Jenna, Jesse, and Nick. Oh no, my bad. Both Dan and Danny, Jenna, Jesse, and Robert voted for Vince, and then Vince voted Dan, Pat voted Dan, and Nick voted Dan. Even though they were going to choose Vince if not. So Vince he played hard in the beginning, and it's kind of showing as he's now kind of on his own, it seems. But he had 2 people help him there. As that alliance of 4 is now pretty much an alliance of 3, with Jenna, I guess, kind of helping them. As yeah, we can look at alliances there. One less member. As we go to Redemption Island, grapple and maze. The 2 castaways will use a grappling hook to retrieve 3 bags that hold a ball. The castaways would then use one of the balls to work as a labyrinth. The first castaway to finish the labyrinth will win. Teresa and Dan compete, which Dan wins. The duel and remains. So T-Bird, after one time, is now eliminated. As we check out immunity here, beach balls, it's called. 2 castaways from each tribe would shoot balls from a slingshot, while the other members of the tribe would try and catch the balls. For every ball caught, the castaway would score a point for their tribe. If the first tribe would score 5 points would win. Ball shot by opposing tribe would still count. As Gina wins immunity here, they also win coffee, tea, creamer, sugar, honey, pastries, and donuts. I feel like I already said that. I guess since they didn't win the last one, they got that. As I feel like a big person in this challenge would have been Danny, maybe Jenna, and like Pat going for it. And yeah, they help there. As the behavior of Mike is running the tribe the wrong way in their own alliance here, as that may be Clarence's only way to help. As an idol was hidden, as Pat found the idol, and Jesse and Danny bond slightly. So Danny's slowly making her little moves. Same with Jesse. As we go into this, it looks like Hunter does not play the idol. His first vote goes Hunter, second vote Clarence, third vote Clarence, and I'll just say in a 5-1 vote, Clarence is gone here as he just did not have a chance. As these 5 have not left each other's back the whole time. It's going to be interesting to see what they do if it gets to the next part of they lose another challenge, but Clarence did have a big fight with Hunter, so that's probably their big reason. And off the bat, I'd probably say they weren't the best of friends. It seems. To go on next episode is 5-7 now. Alliance lines going through. As we see though, they have a good chance for this as concentration. Each castaway will have their memory tested with this challenge. Scattered in the arena are pairs of matching symbols. Each round, the duelers will flip over 2 symbols. And first person to score 5 points. Clarence wins. I'm sure he pretty much showed that anger of him being eliminated uh, out there as Dan leaves the game. As in the season on the show, like 2 people from each tribe would watch this, so I'm sure he showed his anger. Both tribes. As we get Crash Course, both tribes will race through a series of obstacles, working together and collect bags of balls. Along the way, they've cleared all the obstacles. They must shoot the balls into a basket. Um, First to get 6 balls. I'd probably say the 2 challenge beasts on this team, of probably 3, I'd say, of Hunter, Amy, and Mike, lead this, as Marilyn and Todd did the best they could. As they get a picnic on top of a volcano, which is pretty cool. As they go up to this um, what am I trying to say? As they go up to the volcano, Hunter and Amy have a minor fight, which now it seems like instead of Clarence having like an ego, it's more like Hunter just having an ego with everyone. So we proceed the other alliance. Jessalite isolates herself from the rest of the tribe. No one wants to align with her anymore. Probably just not liking the game anymore, maybe how it's going. The first vote goes to Robert here, because Pat doesn't play his idol, by the way. But first vote, Robert. Second vote, Jenna. Third vote, Jenna. Fourth vote, Jenna. Fifth vote, Robert. Sixth vote, Robert. And seventh vote and leaving is Robert in a 4-3 vote. And it looks like the alliance of four is falling apart as Danny, Jesse, and Robert voted together, but Vince kind of took Jenna away, which is a great move. As now we could see it is a 6-5 here, as we're going to go to Redemption Island, and the two castaways would brace themselves with their arms between two walls while staying barefoot in 2 foot pegs. Every 15 minutes, castaways would move down a smaller foot peg. When the castaway reached the third set of foot pegs, they would try and remain. And Clarence falls, so Robert wins the duel, and this is also the merge. So Robert is the first player to ever come back from Redemption, as we'll proceed to the merge. The C, it's the Tingum tribe now. Nice yellow merge color, as we have let's see, we have 5 Mudos and 7 Yinas. So it could just go by tribal lines. We'll see here, as we'll go into the first immunity rollerball. Each caster will have to stand on a wooden log while they balance on a wooden disc. At regular intervals, a ball will be added until casters with balancing 3 balls. Should any of the balls fall or they step off, they're out. Vince wins this. He seems like a pretty chill dude. He probably just had perfect balance and the balls just weren't moving. As Hunter has the Mudo tribe idol still. Pat has the Yina tribe idol. And it looks like this Mudo tribe alliance, the original one, dissolves completely at the merge. They're falling apart a little. As we go into the votes here, Hunter does play his idol. So first vote for Hunter does not count. Second vote goes to Mike. Third vote, Mike. Fourth vote, Mike. Fifth vote, Mike. Sixth vote, Jenna. Seventh vote, Mike. Eighth vote, Mike. And in a 10-1 vote, well, 10-1 to 1, Mike is eliminated here. And just like on his original season, he's going to Redemption. So, yeah, Amy flipped on Mike. Hunter voted Jenna. Okay. Who voted Hunter? Mike voted Hunter. All right. So just overall, some bad plays by looks like the two boys that were the beast on their team that helped a little bit. Didn't do the right move here. So we'll proceed to the next episode. With that move, it seems like Hunter is now out of idol. He'll be a threat. Danny and Danny and Jesse are definitely trying to play that like under the radar now more game. Vince, Pat, and Nick, they've been a strong 3 with Jenna included now. And Todd's trying to survive. I mean, Robert's trying to survive definitely because he was just eliminated before that. Marilyn's trying to survive, and Amy's definitely trying to survive. So we'll go alliances. There's nothing on that one side. It's just pure Yina now. As we'll go to immunity challenge miso soup, it's called. Each caster will dig or achieve a club to use a smash tile. First 6 to move on, and then they go through the water trough, take a mouthful of water, and then crawl under trout, spit the water in bowl. First 3, and then move in final round where they must solve a block puzzle. Pat wins that. Definitely just push him through there as there's no idol hidden anymore, so Pat has the only idol in the game. Hunter isolates himself as he just probably feels after wasting his idol, there's a long chance that he's going to be going here. Pat does not play his idol as the first vote goes to Jenna, second Hunter, third Hunter, fourth Hunter, fifth goes to Jenna, sixth Hunter, seventh Hunter, eighth Jenna, and ninth vote, and in an 8-3, Hunter is eliminated here, as it seems that Amy voted Hunter. It looks like it was between them no matter what, though. It seems people are not liking Jenna. Could be, a possible goat in their eyes, but I mean, she's playing a good game. My opinion, most of them are playing a good game this season, as Nick and Pat are very like quiet. Same with Robert. Todd's playing a strategic game with, so is Vince. Jesse and Danny are playing under the radar. Jenna's just kind of been a vote, but she's surviving. Marilyn very quiet. Amy's been playing pretty strong. As we'll go in the tribe events, same as before. Nothing's really changing. As we got gang hang. It's called the castaways will hang from a bar for as long as they can. After 20 minutes, they'll be allowed to use only their legs to hold them. And Robert surprisingly hangs on the longest with his legs, so he wins immunity here. As the behavior of Vince is run the tribe the wrong way now. I don't know if he's feeling cocky after leading before with taking out the main four on the tribe, but Pat does not play his idol as we go into the votes here. First vote Maryland, second vote, third, fourth, and fifth go to Maryland. Sixth vote, and in a 9-1, Maryland is eliminated here as we can see that everyone, literally everyone, voted her except Maryland. She trying to get Jenna, which I guess would be the smartest move for her. As we haven't seen Redemption Island a couple, so I believe there's 3 people on Redemption Island now. We will see in a second as we'll go to Redemption as Marilyn, Mike, and Hunter are all here, as the castaways will use 150 wooden tiles to build a house of cards. The first 2 build a tower will remain in the game. Marilyn finishes in first. That's, I guess, the one thing she is playing with cards, making nice towers. I don't know. She's safe, and Hunter finishes second in the duel. He remains as that beef between him and Mike. I'm sure those 2 days they were together there were pretty tense after that, but Mike leaves the game here. As we'll go to the immunity now, as Mayan Pizza it's called. The castaways will compete to finish a multi-stage puzzle. Castaways will start by running around a post in order to spin off a disc that will use puzzle base. They will then solve a puzzle that will fit within the base. The first 6 castaways to finish the puzzle move on to the next round. Final round, the completed base will be at the center of the second puzzle. First castaway to finish that one. Todd, very smart, wins the immunity here as it's between, it seems, him as oh wow, the 7 here become a very strong alliance. They're saying all the way, which is very scary for Amy and Todd, who have played very strong games in my opinion, been playing very well. As first vote goes to Vince, second goes Amy, third's Vince, fourth, fifth, sixth Amy, and in a 7-2 vote, Amy gets a little screwed here just by that strong, but yeah, look at them all. I mean, there's nothing else you could do. And Todd stayed strong. Todd's the only one left, which gives, him pretty good props. I mean, the final Mudo, man. As we'll go to Redemption Island here, as they will compete now in shuffleboard. Each castaway will have 1 shuffleboard and 3 pucks. The goal is to slide the puck across the board through the obstacle into the end zone. If any part of the puck touches the end zone, they score a point. Amy finishes in first in the duel, definitely fired up as Hunter finished second, and Marilyn, very strong outing by her, but she leaves the game here. As we go into log jam, it's called. There's a revolving log over a pit of mud. All castaways will compete against each other in one-on-one matches. Whoever outlists their opponent wins. Danny wins here. Her under the radar strategy works because I mean she was winning immunities and hasn't been a target since losing her main ally in Dan, as she wins a chocolate cake and decides to share it with Nick and Jenna, 2 of that major alliance in that original alliance. As Pat has the Yinna tribe idol. Still, Pat plays the idol on Robert, it seems. As first vote goes to Todd, second vote Todd, third vote Todd, fourth Todd, fifth Vince, and a 7-1. Todd's eliminated. I don't know why Pat played that for Robert, especially since he's voted him out before. But it does gain his trust, as Vince did get a vote there. And let's keep scrolling down and see. Yep. Yeah, I don't know why Pat played that, but oh, next immunity challenge, same episode it seems. It would be the castaways will test their memory by having to memorize a series of symbols shown by Jeff. The castaways will have to show back the symbols in order. If they show the wrong symbol, they'll be out of the challenge. The last castaway to show all the correct symbols will win. Pat wins immunity. I believe it's the second immunity of the season, and they don't even have time to talk as they go right into tribal. As the first vote goes to Danny, second vote Danny, third vote Vince. and in a 6-1, Danny is out of the game. A lot of people that I have been rooting for, at least while in this, have been eliminated now, as three in a row. Amy, Todd, and Danny I thought were gonna do very good. And it looks like now it's the two people left in Jesse and Robert who seem closer than Dan and Danny are there, as Pat, Jenna, Nick, and Vince are still here as well. As we'll proceed to this, we'll go to Redemption Island, where the four castaways compete in the first ever four-person duel. In Redemption Island, the castaways will take turns throwing a metal ball and attempt to break four tiles, as they will, one by one, the first three to break will remain on the island, while the last one breaks tiles will be sent home. As Danny finishes the first in the duel, she remains on the redemption. She wins a visit from a loved one. She can give up the reward to all the players left in the game. She's going to keep it. Very smart move, in my opinion. But, I mean, to some people, I can see how you gain that trust. People that voted you out. Hunter finishes in second, remains on Redemption Island. And Todd finishes third just before Amy. So Amy will be eliminated here, as we will go to immunity now on Step On Up. The remaining castaways will race to assemble 18 puzzle steps in a staircase. Each person could only carry one step at a time, must place all the steps correctly from bottom to top. First castaway to make it to the top would win, as Nick pushed through this, as he's a little younger player. Then I guess maybe, you're Robert or Pat, but I don't know, maybe Vince. As I don't know why they're saying this. There's a very strong alliance. Someone has to be voted here. There's no idol left, as they're at the final six. As first vote goes to Robert, second vote Vince, third vote Vince, fourth vote Vince, and in a 5-1, we get to see the man who, off the bat, seems so confident, lost a little faith, and then got super cocky. He's finally out here, but he has a chance of redemption, as everyone voted him. As Robert, the first person to come back from redemption, hasn't even had to worry yet, which is good for him. As Jenna, Jesse, Nick, Pat, and Robert are still in. As you can see, these two, they're very weak at this point, because I guess they're trying to lean on these three. The alliance that Vince made with these two, and then getting Jenna to flip, they have taken over. As we go to redemption, we'll see the Castaways will navigate and handle across a table maze. And once they get through the maze, the handle would be used to smash open a box that contained a bag full of puzzle pieces. First three to solid puzzles stay in. Hunter finishes in first, and he has probably stayed on the longest the whole season. Vince finishes second. Duel remains on Redemption Island. And Danny finishes the duel right before Todd. So Todd is eliminated here. Todd, very strong player. Amy is a very strong player. Vince and Danny are very strong. Hunter kind of made a mess up, but it's all right. I mean, everyone so far that has a chance to come back at the finale in this one is looking very good. As we go into the next community challenge, Bone to Pick. With one arm tied behind their back, Cassidy's will solve a puzzle in the shape of a fish skeleton, and first person to repeat by grabbing all the pieces with the fish hook and putting it together wins. Pat wins. He wins a three-course meal. He's going to share it with his number one in the game, Nick, as they will then go to Tribal, where the behavior of Nick is becoming appreciated beforehand. As the first vote goes to Robert, second vote Robert, third vote is Nick, and fourth vote. And going back to Redemption Island, the first person voted out twice is Robert here, as everyone voted him, even Jesse, who's kind of backstabbed her original ally, but I get why. As before we get into the finale, it is time to watch the very last redemption, as it's a leg up. Participants will put one foot on the end of the seesaw with the other end having a ceramic vase balanced on it. Casters will attempt to keep the vase balanced on the end with their foot still on the seesaw. The last castaway on the vase balance on the end will return. Robert finishes in last. So even though he was voted out fifth, I think he finishes like eighth now. I'm pretty sure. Vince finishes third, so it's between Danny and Hunter, after I believe kind of like in that season with Matt, finishes there. So Danny will win the duel and returns to the game. one person I can root for, it seems, because I feel like she's playing a stronger game. As look at that, the number game. Castaways will race along a balance beam to collect a series of bags containing 100 numbered tiles. First person count to 100 with the tiles will win, where Danny wins immunity. She is safe. Nothing happens before trial. Very quiet. As first vote goes Jenna, second vote Jenna, third vote Jesse, fourth vote Jesse, and a 3-2. Jesse is eliminated here as Jesse, Nick, and Pat vote her. Danny tried to work with the one underdog left that she was kind of allies with. As we go into the finale, Danny is here, Jenna's here, Nick's here, Pat's here. One person here is going to be leaving. There is no more Redemption Island. So these three are working together. So if Danny doesn't win, it's looking like she's going to get fourth place. And going into it, Miso Maze, castaways will race through a maze, collect 4 bags of puzzle pieces at 4 different stations. Once all four bags were collected, castaways will race to the top. And Nick wins this here. So looks like this could be the end for Danny as we get into the votes here. First vote goes Danny, second vote Danny, third vote Pat, and Danny is eliminated in fourth place after a strong time coming back into the game. As we can see, all three of them just voted for her, as we are going to go into the final trial cancel where Jenna, Nick, and Pat will face the jury. Um, Again, it seems like until right before the merge, these three barely were talking much in the game, and then Pat and Nick decided to work with Vince for a bit, grab Jenna, and then these three became uh kind of overruled Vince. They took over their alliance and took out the main alliance off the beginning. So we'll proceed to the reunion, and we will see the winner here in three, two, one. And in a wow, had 9 votes and an 8-1 to 0 vote. Pat wins here. See how each juror voted. And we'll see Mike. He felt that Pat deserved the win for winning a lot of immunity challenges. She felt Pat. Marilyn vote for immunity challenges. Amy, she felt Pat had the most balanced game. So did Todd. Robert felt the same. Vince voted for Nick because they share a strong relationship within the game and had the trust. Hunter voted for Pat for immunity, and Jesse and Danny also did. So Pat definitely destroyed with immunities, and it showed throughout as I think he only had 1 vote, but the fan favorite is Mike Chisel, and the winner is Pat. So we could look at the placements here. Jenna, she was coming in as, in my opinion, like another GOAT, but she did survive a lot, which helped her going in. It looks like with the Dan vote and the Mike vote, and as well with Todd, I believe they were all voted with the idols, like these two, but I believe there was an idol used from Pat here. A bad move by him, but maybe it was all using the wrong person. It worked. But this is the placements of everyone on the season for you, as we'll proceed to the summary. Just seeing, definitely was dominated by the Yena tribe, and Pat in real life, he was the first person voted out, and for here he is the winner. People believe Jesse was the most strategic with Pat and Marilyn. I don't believe Marilyn. I don't believe Jesse either was the most strategic. But it looks like a lot of people believe that Pat was. Oh, they don't even count Pat's vote that was at the final four. Okay, that's weird. Um, well, I mean, if he got the extra vote, that could have been a perfect game, but it wasn't. The most votes were definitely Jenna. I fought, but Mike and Todd had 13 total. Vince had 9. A lot of people had a lot of votes and lasted a lot longer than a lot of other people here. But 3 immunities for Pat, 2 for Danny. Very comeback story from Danny. Todd had a great story, in my opinion. Vince had a great story. Uh, I would say these 4 right here, or 5 right here, had a great story in total. There's no reward challenge wins at all. Yeah, like I said, Todd had a great story. Mike, just became like a challenge beast that got voted off the rip at merge. Robert, first person return. It looks like I mean Amy, I really enjoyed her game. Dan kind of was Danny's backup. Amy, or not Amy, Danny and Dan were working well with Jesse and Robert, but that didn't work at the end. Jesse played apparently a very strategic game, so I'll believe it. I even liked Allison, Clarence, and Teresa's game as well. Desiree, of course, first of all, couldn't do that much. Nick, he was a good backup, I feel like a good sidekick for Pat and Vince, but mainly Pat, it seems, at the end. Bruce, he was a little older, and Marilyn was all right. But yeah, that was the season for you for Survivor Bahamas. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you know how to put custom pictures in that don't crash like they used to, let me know in the comments, and I will see you all next time. Peace out.